So this is an almost full moon from my porch. It's a great view. Sometimes when I can't sleep, I just look out the porch and the moon is like almost towards the middle. Not there, obviously. Now it's still pretty early into the night. But yeah, I'm aware it's Ramadan and a lot of thoughts have come up. Like, people become more reflective, I guess, like even if as a non-Muslim, like there's something in there, that makes you more reflective. So actually I wanted to share with you guys today something I've been thinking about recently. So how people compare with each other, like, I don't know if this is a Chinese thing or not, but like, because most of my friends here in Germany, they're Chinese, and there's this tendency, which is like to see how we're doing in life, even though like we know we're different people, we are at different, we come from different backgrounds and we don't always have the same thing, but like somehow because this like ethnicity is so binding, so we think that like we are capable of judging each other based on the same ruler, which is like pretty crazy, because like, someone coming from a certain city might be totally different from another person from another city. But like when it comes to like studying or achievements, it's like, oh yeah, like you did this, so maybe I should be able to do that. Like, for example, one of my friends, she was like so shocked that another one of her friends could apply to a US university. And the funny thing was, like, she could just do the same thing as well, right? But then she said, oh, I'm gonna wait and see if this other friend gets into this university, and then I'll decide if I apply or not, like the same way that she did. So like the other people, they're paying the price of being the first one to eat that forbidden fruit or whatever, like the first one to try the tomato. And others are just like waiting and watching and thinking like, oh, let's see if this person fails, or let's see if she succeeds. If she succeeds, then maybe I should also try and do that as well. For me, it was also quite a trip. Like, it was the first time that I felt I achieved something when I got into my PhD program that other people would find fascinated by, because like my lifestyle, like my life trajectory has been totally different from other people. And so like this is the first time that conventionally I have been pretty successful. So the feedback is like so different. Like the energy I get from other people is just, it's not all positive. And so I wasn't expecting this at all. Like, like there'd be rappers saying, your haters are gonna come once you become successful and stuff. And I didn't believe it until like, I became relatively successful. And so yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. It's like, don't hate on those people who went and tried the tomato, like they took the risk. Taking the risk is like part of the journey. Like, for them, it might be like a big deal. It might be just an adventure. Like, they might not even be thinking about it. But once they've achieved that, like, just cool down. Like, don't make it as if that they're the same person as you are. Like, they aren't. A lot of times you just have to try your best and leave it to, in Hinduism, they say leave it up to Krishna. The Bhagavad Gita, that was like a huge influence on my life when I was a college student, and I guess it still is to some extent, even though I don't read it as much. But I'd recommend y'all to read the Bhagavad Gita whenever you are envious of someone, or you think that, I've been trying so hard and this shit isn't just flying or something. Like, just read the Gita, it's like changes your life basically. That was kind of like a public service announcement, like I really am inspired by different religions. I'm personally a Buddhist, but like I read texts from different religions, and it's like I think there really is something there, you know? You can't say like anything is exclusive. That's my philosophy basically. Like, everyone shares and borrows from each other, and like as a historian, like my job is to actually trace how religion becomes reified into different categories, and you know, like this feeds back into how people think about religion even today. And it's kind of close-minded, to be honest, to think like, okay, so this religion only is about this particular group of people, or that religion doesn't even think about anything else outside of this circle. But these categories, they're man-made, you know? So, but history is hard, so even though those are my aspirations, it doesn't mean I can do that necessarily with history. Anyways, that was my PSA. So it just started raining from where I am right now. It was pretty stuffy today, and so it's like really nice now that it's rained. It'll probably get better. So today I wanted to share with you guys a chat I had with one of my friends. He works in the social services in Germany, and he himself came 9 years ago, and his German is almost perfect, and he has a pretty nice part-time job, and on the other hand he also is a university student. And so I imagine that he probably also receives a lot of requests from other people in terms of giving advice about life, etc. in Germany, and achieving, you know, what he has had achieved. And he shared with me that sometimes you learn how to spot these people who might put you down, like even while they're trying to get help from you. And so in the long run, that it's actually, you'll learn in the process of meeting more and more people, and then you'll learn to maintain a certain distance that would protect yourself, basically. And I found it pretty helpful, and it was nice to talk with him. And I hope you guys also learned something from watching this video. Thanks.